time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jacob.
I was eating some Skittles today.
Dehydrated or regular? Freeze-dried?
Dehydrated Skittles.
Yeah, dude. Dehydrated, freeze-dried, sour Patch Kids Skittles. Which ones?
I was just craving something, and we still got like an insane amount of leftover
free
trick-or-treat.
candy? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's not free. Somebody paid for it.
Free to you.
But
We're not going to rehash it. It's free to you. It doesn't matter.
It's free to me, but I also paid.
Yeah,
for stuff.
It's the one time a year
it's
that we get to be
transactional.
socialist. Yeah.
It's transactional. I paid, and then I got. Anyways, I didn't get anything. I didn't get fucking shit.
I didn't do fucking shit. Anyways,
I paid for a golf cart. I didn't pay for that either. Anyways, the first one I grabbed was sour because I was asking Zoe, I was like, okay, like what can I have? She's like, you can have something I don't like. I'm like, what time is it? Because it changes by the hour.
Hey
these
man,
days.
I get it, dude. You know.
And I grabbed the sour Skittles, and she was like, no, I want those. I was like, okay, fine. What about regular ones? She's like, you can have those. I was like, okay.
All right.
And then I was sitting at my desk, and did you ever play the battle game?
Okay. It's like, is this where you like squish them together and the winner gets moved the next round?
Take the two colors and yeah.
We used
and
to
I
be
was just
the same.
and I
kids. We would have been
got
such good best friends as kids, dude.
I got lost in the battle. It was just a little pack, right? So there was only like 10 Skittles in there.
What you were doing while you wouldn't accept my fucking invite to the? I had joined the call and I sat there for 10 minutes. But
when was this?
Like a second ago, whenever you called.
Oh no, this was during work today.
Okay. I was.
yeah. This is during work today, because it was like I was like 3:30. I needed to pick me up, and I was just sitting there squishing, and the red dominated, dude. Just dominated.
Yeah.
And I thought I was like, oh, maybe because I'm pushing down. I even switched it. I even put the red on the bottom.
Somebody
and
put
the
some
red
extra coating on that red guy today. You know?
He finally got defeated though. Towards the end, he lost to purple.
I hope that this gets out there to the right people because I want to see how universal the battle game was.
And and on top of that, in my psycho brain, I'm like, damn, I should have jumped into the analytics and I should have just like jotted down on an Excel spreadsheet all my results. And then like that sounds infinitely more interesting and fun and useful than work was.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, you turn
and
that
then
into,
sell that data.
You turn that you turned it into TikTok content or YouTube content, and like that becomes a whole series. And people are like, oh, what does he do today?
Yeah.
Like, who's battling today? What do we got? And
yeah, then you buy all the brands of Skittles, right? You buy like
you get sponsored by Big Skittle, and everybody like hates your channel now because you're just a corporate shill. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like the unfortunate thing is like. You know, I've always been against just like streamers and like all that sort of thing for a long time because I think they're all just like full of shit. And it's like the older I get, I sort of let's pump the brakes here. I do, before I automatically judge somebody based off of what they're doing, I do take a step back and be like, well, what would I do in that situation? I wouldn't be a piece of shit, but
I mean, everybody's got a price, I guess, to be a piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, you know.
And ultimately, it's like I can put my head down at night knowing that I'm never going to get to that point where I've got it, you know, because like, no, who the fuck am I, right? Yeah. So I'm able to judge people who, you know, get sponsored by whatever and sort of like lose, because it happens to everybody. It happens to everybody.
Inevitably, capitalism and corporations are gonna.
I say everyone. But you know what I mean.
I'll speak in hyperbole right now, and I say that capitalism corporations will eventually get to anything that you hold dear that happens to be popular with anybody ever, right? Because that's the whole thing is that it doesn't matter who it is, what they're doing. They could be doing a review on these pair of scissors right here, right? And they'd be loves this pair of scissors review, and Big Scissor comes and sponsors them because that's what they do, you know?
Yep.
It's going to be sponsored by fucking Clorox. I don't know who does scissors.
And then eventually everything just like dies, and I think. More so than ever in the current entertainment zeitgeist, that is a big part of the problem is things come out and they're cool and they're great, and then it just ultimately becomes a cash machine until there's just like nothing left. Literally the proverbial beating a dead horse. And it's like
That cash cow, baby. Yeah.
you bring it up a lot of times. It's like this is really cool and like this would be really awesome if this just stayed this thing,
Mm-hmm.
but very, very, very rarely is that possible because like I sent you a thing about you're super into dungeon crawler Carl these days,
Yeah.
right? You're welcome for that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Thank you.
there's like a tabletop game that's coming out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're sort of conflicted because it's like that's cool and I want more content, but then it's just like, oh, that's just
I will
another
say
thing.
my original my first instinct though is to like I'm happy for Carl, not Carl, but I'm happy for Matt Denneman because I say absolutely take the bag any way you can get it. If somebody's throwing
Sure.
money at you for whatever, they could be
And that
making heart-shaped underwear or whatever like Carl wears the whole time. I don't care. But if somebody's throwing money at you, dude, take the money.
would
I
you
don't-
buy some of that underwear?
Absolutely. I'll fucking support you too, buddy. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's one of those instances where I was kind of like, it is funny to see how popular it gets and like takes off or whatever, and people are throwing money at him, and then he turn around, and not he like he's doing it on purpose, but it's again get that money, but it's like corporations turning around and like funding these big projects with Dungeon Crawler Carl and being like, do this and this with him or whatever, and it's like just kind of ironic in a sense because the book and like a lot of the messages that are in the book are like this is kind of like where like how Dungeon Crawler Carl comes
Sort
to
of
be.
like Squid Game.
It's like, yeah, and the Squid Games was another like you made me think about Squid Games and how I thought when it first came out like, oh shit, this is sick because it's like it's very finite. That the ending is like kind of like, yeah, okay, this is the end of Squid Games. It was a really good run. It was really sick. And then they shit the bed.
Until
and they
it
were
wasn't.
like, yeah, and then they shit the bed and they're like, let's do Squid Games 2. And was Squid Games 2 what was Squid Games 2? Was it the reality TV show?
I've never seen Squid Games.
Was there an actual season? I don't know.
I think, if I recall, there was the second season of the show, and then there was a full blown like Netflix version of the show. Like
which apparently was
game
like
show.
rife with controversy about like how people were treated and like what actually happened and like all this other horse shit or whatever. And I don't know if it was all generated
And then
for the Vine.
There
or whatever,
was
but
when I went to Halloween Express, there was an entire section of Squid Game stuff,
yeah,
and it was just like, oh my god, it's.
can't escape the beast, baby.
But it just feels more so now than ever, I guess, because like streaming and it's no longer you release a thing and then like it's able to breathe and it's able to live. It's like a thing comes out and you have to continuously do something in order to keep it relevant now. You know
And
what I mean?
that's-
Like you're
honestly why I'm happy that we'll never be there. Like you were talking about earlier, like we're never gonna be there, man. And that's not
I
for
know,
our lack
but-
of trying, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to have to live that life of like I do something funny one time and like that has to be my thing from now on the internet. Or
But it
else
doesn't
I don't
have
get
to be.
views. And it's like, I mean, it doesn't. Absolutely not. Like that's like when I post like stupid little YouTube shorts or whatever. Like I'm just gonna keep doing it for me. I don't give a shit how many people see it. I think it's funny and as shit. I don't care how long I keep doing it for and 1-2 likes. But I don't know, dude.
I mean, I do agree because I don't want to be held to the standards or expectations of like a separate entity. But it's like, I mean, I would be lying to you if I didn't say that I wish Polar Destroyer was like it could take off and become like this fucking franchise thing with action figures and like video game and an animated series
Yeah.
and merch. Like, yeah,
And my
hell fucking yeah.
advice to you is the same as to Matt Denneman. It's like get that bag, baby. If somebody comes at you and like,
Yeah, but
with a
I wouldn't-
$1 million
but-
bag, take it.
It's
Take
just-
it.
I mean, it's highly, highly, highly unlikely.
Don't
You know
give
what
up
I
any
mean?
creative rights, but take it. Take what you can
You
get.
know, that's ultimately the thing is, it's like how much is it worth to me?
billion. And
Well,
people are
then
like,
that-
oh, that's too unrealistic. Who's that? Okay, is it? Because it's my choice, buddy.
Is
Is it unrealistic? Because
I don't think
you
a
asked me how
billion.
much I want you to pay for it. $1 billion.
I mean,
Walk
they'd
away
just
with it today.
They would walk away.
Good.
No one would take it.
Fuck them.
I mean, I mean, it's just like that. It's unrealistic in the sense that like that's not an obtainable number, a real
Yes.
number.
And that's the thing too, is that like it's like the game where like everybody's got a price, right? Like.
I mean, I would
what
I would
do you-
easily sell it off, but I would want to maintain creative rights at some point. Like it's like I would take less money to be able to still make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of selling it outright, it's like, oh, someone gives you $5 million to buy it outright. You get created by credit, but you don't have anything else to say for the like ever. Versus like, oh well, we'll give you $500,000 and like you can have creative input and residuals. Like that's what I want.
I just think
It's
that's
like
a better deal, honestly, because you can
because
still get to
well,
create, you still get to watch it grow and be a part of the thing, and you
because
get
it's
money
like at
from
the
it.
end of the day, in like 60 years when I'm dead, like I'm still the guy that did that. Whereas
Yeah.
like if it goes the other way to a corporation, they'll erase you. They'll
Run
eventually
it into the
erase
fucking
you.
ground. They'll give it to
Well, they'll
Netflix
eventually
for 2
erase you.
seasons. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they'll get
It's
rid of
just
you.
like
They'll have you.
like if I ask you who created Batman, you're gonna say DC Comics, and it wasn't DC
Well,
Comics.
it's because I don't know who the author is. The original guy did the.
It's Bob Kane and Bill Finger. That's it.
Is they-
What?
I didn't know the guy's name. That's funny. That's good.
Bob Kane created Batman, and then Bill Finger did the original drawing. Well, I don't know why that's funny.
It's like Tom Hand, dude. Yeah, he drew it himself, dude. Tom Hand. Oh, that.
I mean, I
Who's that
guess
running
that is
right over
kind
there?
of
Oh,
funny.
that's Bill Foot. Yeah, dude.
Bill Foot.
That's Bill fucking
Wes,
Foot. Dude.
that's Westfoot. Westfoot was the creator of the Flash.
So good. Anyway, shouts out to Mr. Finger, dude.
They're long dead.
Oh shit, sorry, R.I.P. I guess, Mr. Finger.
Long dead. Then for the longest time, up until about 10 years ago, Bob Kane was credited as the sole creator, and it wasn't until like the Bill Finger estate and like there was like a lot of litigation, and then now you get created by Bob Kane with Bill Finger.
Dude, can you imagine? Okay, so like, what's his fucking name, dude? He's dead now too. He's a dead guy, old guy. Stanley something, right?
Stan Lee, yeah, created
Stan
like
Lee,
half
yeah,
the Marvel
literally
universe.
Yeah. But did he create that himself? Like a lot of that, or was that like
What?
Like I know he did Spider-Man, right? Was that his?
Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Captain
Yeah.
America, like all the early Marvel stuff in the 60s.
It is because like it is kind of crazy to like if you were to live in that era, right? When superheroes like DC's already come out with their stuff, but then you're like, what if I did DC but different? And you're just like,
Well, I
basically
mean,
not
I'm not
copying, but copying, DC, and it's just like, but it's Wild West, and copyright laws aren't super big then, right? I'm sure they existed to some extent.
Well, here's what's crazy. In 2 years, in 2027, I believe Batman becomes free use property.
So we get that Batman horror movie. We give him the horror
think.
treatment, baby. Let's go, like Steamboat Willie, and
But I think it's like well, again, it's reserved because like Steamboat Willie
Watch the honey-
versus
the Blood and Honey movie, dude.
yeah, like it's like The Dark Knight though will still be trademarked, but Batman is
Yeah.
not
Gotcha.
because it's like 1927 to
Yeah, so it's like a lot. Yeah,
2027.
it is like a lot like Steamboat Willie, where it's like Mickey Mouse.
It's Steamboat Willie, but not Mickey
Can't
Mouse.
touch Mickey Mouse. You can't touch the mouse, dude. But you can
And
get Steamboat.
was it? Could
arguably
you,
the racist one of the two?
could you call it Winnie the Pooh, or was it just like a bear named Winnie?
I don't honestly.
You know what I mean? So like there's trademarks for like all that shit. So, but in 100 years, I mean, like it's gonna be crazy because probably in our lifetime, like half of DC and half of Marvel is gonna be like public use
And it's like, who cares?
because
honestly,
it
at the
runs
end
out
of
in 100 years.
the day. But
And it's
then
just
I'm
like,
sure that Disney's gonna pull a Disney and be like, nah, dude, you can't do that. Actually, we actually get all the money still. So
no, they can't. They can't.
we'll see.
like
We'll
they
see.
need more money.
Hey, man, I don't know if you've seen Disney Plus recently, but times are tough. So
Sucks.
yeah, times are tough. So
It sucks.
they probably want as much cash as they can get.
You know, I had mentioned being dead earlier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that died over the last couple days.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, explain it to me. Yeah.
Okay. After 232 years, the penny is dead.
Are they officially calling it like time of
It's
death?
done.
Like
It's dead.
like it's
no more-
now
no
they're not
longer
making
in-
anymore. You can
Correct.
still use your pennies.
Yes.
You can still throw them at homeless people.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't
Throw
do
'em in a
that. I didn't
fountain.
say do it. I'm just saying you can still do that. You should.
Sounds like you've done it before.
No, dude, I would never throw something like at homeless people.
The reason it was
rough
retired, the American penny died on Wednesday in Philadelphia. Shouts out.
enough. R.I.P. Dude.
It was 232 years old. The cause was irrelevance and expensiveness.
I mean, to be fair, yeah,
That's
it did
America,
cost,
right?
Like, what didn't it cost like something like 5 cents to create? Yeah, like honestly, it is at the end of the day. It's like 5 cents for every penny to be made. So it's like, yeah, I get it. Get it out of here. Do I think they should get rid of all cash? No, we shouldn't do that.
It cost more than 3 cents to make a penny.
Okay, yeah.
So the final
honestly.
final pennies were minted on Wednesday afternoon.
So, actually, pivot here. Don't throw your change at old people. Put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day, because here in a couple of 50 years, those pennies are going to be worth more than 3 cents. Like 4 cents probably. But
who gives a shit, dude? I just remember when I was in like high school, even before then. Remember like the state quarters?
Yeah, dude, they were huge,
bro.
Now they're everywhere. Who gives a shit about
it?
But
like my dad was like,
there were people obsessed, like having to get that book. Like the book,
dude,
where you put the quarters in the States.
You open it up.
My parents had one,
and it was like $5 a year or some shit.
I think they were giving them to parents to make them excited about quarters. So that's what I think, at least. I don't know. I feel like everybody had.
You know what I would do if someone handed me those? I would take all the quarters and I'd be like, okay, here's $5.
I have a vivid remembrance, memory of us having like 3 of those books, and my parents like
3.
Yeah, dude, trying to fill them out.
One.
My parents were like desperate to fill these things out.
Yeah, you talking about rich. You always talk about your lower class shit. You had 3 books, we only had 1, dude.
Oh, so sorry, dude. Living up in that lower middle class is where we were. We were coasting. So
yeah. Any final thoughts?
Penny's dead. Fuck it, I guess. The only time I've ever used a penny.
To throw it
I was gonna say to throw it on was it, but I was like, that's too mean. I don't do that. I don't want that to be the thing that people are like, oh yeah, this guy.
But that's the thing. Yeah, it's not all the other inherently racist things you've said.
I haven't said a single racist thing. Okay, I don't
want
any supercuts of anything that could be taken vaguely racist. All right. Now, sure. If you cut it up and take things out of context, yeah, it sounds bad sometimes. The things that come out of my mouth, sure, but you can say that about anything, So
yeah, that's not the only thing.
Who else?
That's not
died?
the only thing that.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about things dying, not necessarily people dying. As if there was one thing in the last, let's go 15 years in your lifetime that you thought, shit, yeah, there's gonna be a bust on this thing, and it's eventually going to saturate itself, and people are gonna stop collecting it.
Okay, stop collecting it. Okay, we can't say .coms because those are that already happened.
No, it's a physical thing.
It's
not an NFT.
Okay, it's not Beanie Babies because those were dead.
Correct.
Those are dead and gone, right?
Is
it Beanie Baby adjacent?
What was considered the new Beanie Babies? People on this podcast were like, I don't like these things because they're going to end up like it's our version of Beanie Babies.
Oh man,
you have some in your house. Everyone has at least one.
Like bobbleheads. What are they called? They're not really
Funko
bobbleheads.
Pops.
The Funko Pops. Okay, those are dead now.
They are dying because the company is losing money hand over fist because nobody buys them.
Yeah, it's
anymore.
like, what do you do with them? Honestly, like I understand. Yes,
Okay,
I probably have one somewhere. Yeah, I've got 2 up there.
I have several.
Yeah.
I had more than I wanted, and I purged a bunch. I have like 4 or 5 Washington Capitals that sit on my shelf.
Yeah.
I have Always Sunny, and then I have Moon Knight.
I think
because for a long time, Moon Knight was like the only Moon Knight stuff before the show, but the pop vinyl maker reported in its latest SEC financial filing that it has suffered a net loss of $68.1 million over the last 9 months.
Okay, as somebody in the finance world, it's a lot of money, and you never want to report a net loss on anything because that's not good.
Due to the decrease in net sales outpacing the decrease in operating expenses, combined with the $215 million in debt, Funko admitted that there is a substantial doubt about its ability to continue operations for the next 12 months.
Damn, dude. Okay, so
Anticipating
they're like
anticipating that
close.
its cash flow may be insufficient to support the working capital needed by
So,
this time next year.
needless to say, if you haven't already sold your stocks, it's too late. You've lost money on it. You might as well go ahead and sell them now to recoup some of that cost. But this is not financial advice. I just want to go ahead and preface that without any lawsuits coming my way.
Imagine, okay, so like this new guy, his name is Josh Simon, right? He's the new CEO. He's only been the CEO for
He's
60
probably
days.
one they brought in for this specific situation of them having to close down. Like he's a guy that they hire. He's the CEO, like on the roster of like, hey, who's your closer? Who do you have as a closer? And it's like, oh, this guy, he's really good.
So if you're this guy, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can nail
Okay, what's
his.
his name? What's his name?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
His name is Josh Simon.
Okay.
But let's see if you can guess what his thoughts were when they asked him.
Uh, hey, we're
Like
gonna
what's
pivot and we're gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna get through this together. Or something like that.
not enough positivity after having almost $1 billion loss.
Hey guys, I see
$68
that we
million.
lost almost $1 billion, but don't worry, we're working on a solution, and we're gonna pivot and turn it, and we're gonna turn around a profit next quarter. Don't even worry about it.
You're not a good CEO.
I'm not a good CEO. That's why they don't hire me for the CEO
Despite these
position.
challenges, CEO Josh Hyman remains optimistic about the future of the brand, and several ideas have already been put forward on how it might prevent collapsing into $1 million landfill of plastic IP. He said, "I'm only 60 days into the role, but it's already clear how powerful the Funko brand is and how much growth opportunity lies ahead."
Buddy, you make horrendous renditions of cartoon characters
Well, I think the problem,
that have soulless eyes.
and like someone really broke it down. It was like if you look at a Funko Pop, outside of like a few things, like it's not an individual thing. All pops look alike because they all have the same face, right? They have the big black eyes,
Yeah, soulless eyes.
and
Yeah,
right, and it's about the brand because all Funko Pops are about that. They're about the Funko Pop brand, not the actual IP that they are supposed to be representing. Whereas like an action figure of Iron Man looks like fucking Iron Man. And a Funko Pop of Iron Man looks like a Funko Pop dressed up as Iron Man.
yeah. It's like
That's
they're all just wearing a costume. Yeah,
right, because it's about the brand, not the IP
actual
that
IP. Yeah,
right. And it's like some of them were tough because like what do you do with like Letterkenny? It just looks like a guy unless you know what it is.
yeah.
It just looks like, like Wayne just looks like a dude in overalls.
I would like to see like where he's been as far as like his. I don't know how to find that kind of stuff about a person like where was he CEO before now? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I do feel like he is one of those guys that you hire for the end of life. Basically, like he's kind of like hospice, but for for corporations.
So, suggestions including obtaining additional financing, focusing on smaller lines and blind box collectibles, as well as the Pop Yourself
fuck.
kiosk, and even selling off the company. Our board of directors has initiated a formal review process to evaluate strategic alternatives for the company, including a potential sale of the company.
I don't know how I feel about Pop Yourself kiosks. 'Cause I think of Futurama, and I don't know if you remember their kiosks. That's what I think of when I hear Pop Yourself kiosks. And it's like kind of dark. I don't know. Maybe go with a pivot there, but hey.
The company has not set a deadline or definitive timetable for the completion of the strategic alternatives review process. It's just a bunch of fucking word garbage.
It's kind of like I feel like they're going, or I feel like it's one of those things where if you looked at Funko and then you looked at Magic the Gathering, I don't know who's on the pathway, but it's oversaturation.
I think Magic has completely saved itself from the ashes.
Dude, that's the
More,
thing.
there
because, like,
are more people playing Magic the Gathering now than there were in the last 20 years of people.
Yes. So then I would say that Funko or Magic is on the same path that Funko is, where like the problem with Funko is that everything has a Funko Pop now, right? It's like every single IP out there. They went the Fortnite route and like just spending as much money as they can to get popular IPs and throwing a Funko design at it, and it's like kind of led them to where now who gives a shit? You've oversaturated the market. There's like 6 different runs of every single show out there, and it's like
I say yes, but I do think that the caveat being that Magic the Gathering still has its base card set, and it is still a functionable, playable
when was the
thing.
last
Whereas,
fucking
like,
card set they had, dude?
you'd played it.
The Gathering card
Like the
sets.
crossover stuff is just crossover stuff.
Yes.
They're still putting out cards, and people still go buy them and shit, and people still play Magic the Gathering. What the fuck do you do with a Funko Pop? You buy it, you either leave it in the box, open it, or set it on your shelf.
It's literally propping up a third of the McKay's market right now. Like it's like you go and sell it
Yeah.
to McKay's. That's what you do with it. Like that's all you can do with a Funko.
You go into do it in a GameStop. I think that's one of the big contributing factors why GameStop failed, because they went so hard into fucking Funko Pops.
Okay, so they
And
just
like,
said, sorry, I don't mean to like cut you off again.
They're
Edge of
good.
Eternities was August 1st, 2025.
right.
And then Takir Dragonstorm was April 11th, 2025. What is I didn't even
But
see
also that's
any. Aether
owned
Drift
by
was garbage apparently.
right. That's Wizards of the Coast, right? We already talked about this.
Yes. Magic the Gathering.
Um,
This is like this is their normal like hard runs. They did have Foundations, which released back in November 15th of 2024, which I wanted to get into because apparently like it's like a good way to get into it. And then they had Innistrad. Dude, I don't keep up with Magic enough apparently. I'm a fake fan. So
No, we know that.
yeah, I'm a fake fan apparently.
You jump in and then you just fucking
Yeah.
bounce out. But so the third thing on my list is
Okay.
something I know that you've been dying to talk about that's dead,
Hell yeah, dude.
which is
I forgot already, dude.
social media.
Social media is dead. Let's go, dude. Yeah, absolutely, man. I was thinking about this the other day, and I know that it's probably, it might be hyperbole, but maybe it's not, right? But I think that all social medias are now, right? Maybe they've always been this. Maybe they've always been this, and it's just kind of catching up to me now. Maybe my small, simple monkey brain is finally rolling around to the idea that, like, all social media is just marketing. It's just a marketing platform. It's like, you either got the Twitter marketing platform, or you got the YouTube marketing platform. You got the TikTok marketing platform. That's all it is, because it's like, I got off of TikTok, right? Because all it was just like shit that I didn't need, just a bunch of bullshit that I would save and whatnot, right? And for no reason or whatever. And it's at the very end there, it was just like every 2 TikToks, what do you get?
Ads.
You get an ad. You get a sponsored TikTok post. And if it's not a sponsored TikTok post, one of the other 2 videos that you see in between those is somebody pitching you another product that they found. And they were, oh, what's that? They're an affiliate. So what is that? They're proposing just another product to you, right? And so it's just, I got to scrolling the other day on YouTube Shorts, and I'm just like, dude, it's all it's become is it's just like, we are in the infomercial.
So if you
era.
okay, so I've never had YouTube.
Have you ever used TikTok
or Red or whatever it's called?
I don't know. I think my brother pays for YouTube Premium. He made fun of me for having ads the other day. So.
Do you still get ads on those? Like,
I don't
shorts?
know. I'll ask him, but he wouldn't respond right now, anyways. But
He wouldn't. Yeah, you can ask him to his face and be like, "Oh, I don't know."
But I mean, I would assume that like no, you don't get ads, right? I don't know about shorts though. That's a good question. I don't know, but nonetheless,
You should ask him.
it doesn't matter though, because if you're not seeing the sponsored post, it's somebody with a goddamn affiliate link, and it honestly half the time it's a video where they're making like a goddamn casserole,
but then
and it's an affiliate link for some router bits or some shit.
But it goes back to if someone came to you and was like, "Jacob, we're going to give you $100,000."
No, absolutely. Get the money. That's the thing. It's like, again,
So, like,
I have
it's
no issues
hard.
with the creators because they're just making money.
Oh, I do.
I mean, there are some that are questionable for sure, but it's like
Almost all of them.
at the end of the day, they're not at fault here, right? Maybe they are. Maybe they should be the solution. I don't know, but
They're part of the problem. They're not the problem.
yes, they're. But I don't want to call them part of the problem because, again, at the end of the day,
You can say no. They can say no.
they could, but then their money dries up or something. I don't know how much you make from
See?
YouTube, but it just got me to think. It's just like
It's a lot of work, though.
It's-
I mean, I think that not we as society sort of over glorifies streamers and YouTubers and all that stuff is like a career path. And it's like, okay, but like it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, absolutely. It is insane amount of work, and it's like I like, again, it's one of those things where if you have some kind of niche thing that you created for yourself, you're now bound to that for the rest of your goddamn internet life. But it just like dawned on me the other day that low key, it's just another way that corporations have like infiltrated our tiny little spaces that we have
Well,
created.
I will give
And
you credit, not to interrupt your thought, but
you
like I
good?
will give you credit where it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, you had sort of brought up half jokingly, you're like, I don't feel like any of this stuff is real. I feel like all this stuff is AI generated.
Yeah, because I had
Um,
a hyper specific recipe I was trying to find, or hyper
yeah.
specific problem I was trying to find, and lo and behold, somebody had created a full ass website with ads and shit all over it that like had the exact solution I was looking for.
Well, and it's like my pushback was that I don't think there are very many questions based on the amount of people that use the internet where because there is a lot of people that have like very weird random intrusive thoughts like you
Yeah,
and they would put it on the internet.
and it's like I'm not saying I'm unique by any means, but it's
No,
one
no,
of
no.
those things where it's
I'm not
like,
saying you're not unique. I'm saying that like you're like, well, I had this very specific thought, and it's like, okay, yeah, but like someone else also did too, and so
yes,
therefore they put it on the internet, and it's just like you just happen to look for it,
yeah,
and
that I all understand, but my
but I
my thing
also agree
is
with you.
my thing is that like, yes, I get it. I'm not unique. It's all the funny little dipshit thoughts that I have that I say out loud. People have thought 100 times before me. They just didn't put it on the internet, okay, or on a
I don't know. The
podcast.
cereal in the shower is pretty unique.
I don't. I probably not. Honestly, there's probably a whole subreddit out there for cereal shower eating or some shit. It's like shower beer, but it's shower bowl. Like, but then that's probably just weed in the shower. But I don't know. Smoking a bowl in the shower, dude. Fucking toke up, dude. Hell yeah, dude. But anyways,
The
not to get
moisture would get in there,
sidetracked.
and it would stick.
It probably would be really hard to light it too, because it's like water and fire don't mix apparently. But nonetheless, I lost my train of thought for a second. It's like the odds of somebody having the same exact thought that I had, right? And then saying, oh shit, that's crazy. I should make a full ass website. Maybe not a full ass website, maybe just like a blog post, right? And post it on the internet so that way other people can come. I just don't feel like the odds are there that that same person knows how to build a website or knows how to create a blog post, right? So it's like your odds start to dwindle down to the point where it's like, I just think that these websites, like my hyper specific question, Google was like, fucking generate him a goddamn website so he can figure this out. All right.
I
Can
mean, with
take
AI
all the
now,
info off the internet, scrape everything that you can, scrape everybody's hard drives that you can, and throw together something for this kid because he's trying to figure out how to fix a 1987 Toyota Corolla headlight and he needs help now. Like, which wires does he need to cut? You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation. I don't remember what I was looking up, but
I think you were looking up a recipe. I
I
think
probably was,
that
yeah.
the we it's like we always talk about AI and shit, but I think that the slow rollout of AI was like went under the radar as part of like a search engine of like Google and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the Google algorithm was for like a
Because I
form
mean,
of AI for the
yeah.
longest time. So you type it in and they like, it has now morphed into like, oh, now everyone knows about like AI or whatever. But I think 5, 6 years ago, or whatever, like that's what it was. That was just like the Gemini 1.0 or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck.
Whatever the dick they're calling it. I don't know,
But
man.
it does, we were talking last week with Lori, and it's just like social media, what its intended purpose was no longer exists. Like it's like what it was there for doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Um,
You can't even go on Reddit
you can
without
you,
like
you can
finding.
pinpoint Twitter when its downfall started.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think
like
that one's really easy. Yeah,
there's a big there's a there's an inflection point.
yeah.
Um,
Which just kind of makes it
but
like a study case, honestly.
right,
Like,
but I got off of Facebook in 2015, so almost like over 10 years at this point, and I have, much like you did with all the other social media, I have just never thought. I just like don't give a shit. But it's like I know that there's a big community, like for me personally, for like comics and indie comics and like local stuff, but like, eh, you know what I mean? Eh. But are you good?
yeah, I'm just watching my face. Like, if I look over here, it's a different shape. But then watch this. I look over
Yeah, I
here.
know. Oh, I
It
know.
changes shape. It's so weird. I don't know why it
I've
does
been
that.
watching it the entire time. I wasn't going to bring it up.
I don't know what's happening. Fucking AI's ruining everything, dude.
You
But
know, there's another thing that we talk about often where we're like, why are they spending all of this money on this thing when you could very much spend all this money on a different thing?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like we talk about it, oh, it's like, oh, they could tattoo a TARDIS or whatever. And it's like, why? That seems dumb. However, um, came across the spaghetti desk here, that Tom Brady
okay. This
reveals
story, yeah.
that his dog Junie was cloned from his beloved pet Lua, who died in 2023.
So it's not Tom Brady himself.
Well,
Yet.
hold on.
Okay.
We'll
I'm gonna
get to
jump the
that.
gun. Yeah, sorry.
We'll get to that. So his dog died in 2023, and then Colossal Biosciences, which Brady is an investor in, cloned the pit bull mix using a blood sample collected prior to her death. The announcement coincides with Colossal's announcement that it is acquiring Viagon Pets and I don't know that word, which cloned Barbara Streisand and Paris Hilton's dog. So basically, cloning is real.
Mm-hmm.
It's successful in many cases,
Yeah.
and it just kind of slowly has come out. Where, like,
They
when
like
we
kind
were
of
growing
soft
up,
launched cloning.
yeah, in a sense, but like, because we had
Yeah.
heard, like, all growing up, I'd always heard about the goat that was cloned in like the 90s, right? Like
Yeah.
the successful goat that was cloned. And it was like, oh, it's a big deal. And now we've hit that point of cyberpunk future where full blown cloning is working. You got to stop doing that because you're distracting me.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix it.
You're not
Okay.
going to fix it.
Is that better?
No, it's actually worse. I'm about to quit this podcast.
Hey man. Probably. Okay, hold on. Let me fix saturation. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, sorry.
Are you done?
Right there. We'll leave it there. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
So,
I'm done.
anyways, this is how it ends. This is how it is. I always knew this was gonna happen. We would do this, and it
You
would
won't
end
quit
here.
messing with
I'm
shit.
not messing with it anymore. I'm just trying to fix the. I don't know why it keeps doing it. It's distracting me. Is what's happening. Okay, and I can't focus. I can't work under these conditions.
Anyways, so Tom Brady,
they soft rolled out.
but this is the same company. If you remember a couple months ago, we talked about they took the DNA of old dire wolves and cloned them successfully. And I haven't heard anything about those lately. I'm assuming they're all
They've
still
been too
alive.
busy
And
working on fucking Tom Brady's dog. You know, they're like.
so now,
Okay.
it's always been, sort of like
That he's a lizard person, yeah.
yeah, right. You know,
Because he
So,
hasn't
like,
aged since he won the Super Bowl 62 years ago, yeah.
and it's like, do you think it is possible that like they've taken his? I mean, come on, they've absolutely taken his DNA for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
And they're growing him in a lab right now.
do you remember? It might have been like what, like 80, episode 80, 82, 83, the Hollywood meat parties that they're having out in space.
Uh-huh.
We've successfully lived long enough to just see this become a real thing, right? I think it was a joke at first. I mean, they were definitely doing something. I don't remember the story exactly. I do remember working really hard on the sticker for that, but I don't know if I ever did anything with that. But
I mean, it was on a T-shirt that nobody bought.
yes, but hey, what are you gonna do? You know. But I do think that it's like that we've just seen it come full circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it highly believable and plausible that Tom Brady is in fact a clone? Yes, it was. Now,
I don't think he's a clone.
Was it real that I saw? Like, I think I don't know if Ian posted a meme in the group chat or something like that.
It was
but
me.
It was like, okay, was that a real thing, or was it like an Onion kind of article where it's like they had just so happened to have this, you know, they took Tom Brady's sample like 20 years ago, and it's like there's this dude that just so happens
named Drake May.
that looks just like Tom Brady.
You know who has the best record in the AFC right now?
Is it Drake May?
And the Patriots.
Wait, is it? Whoa. Oh, hold on. One more. So he's a legit NFL quarterback?
Drake May is the quarterback to the New England Patriots.
So he's an actual quarterback.
For the New England Patriots.
For like the professional football team.
For the New England Patriots, yes.
Feels like cheating, right? If it does come out that it is like actually Tom Brady's clone, like is that cheating? Like how do you do this? Like what do you?
Well, I think because he's like
What do we
20
do?
years, because like Drake May is like 24, 5 years old, so it's like
Now, I don't know if it is real, but
that the joke was that he's a clone. It's real that he's the quarterback, and the Patriots are like one of the best teams in the AFC again.
okay, I got a hypothetical for you though. All
Okay.
right, say it does happen, right? Say they do cloning,
Okay.
and say
You're not getting
let's put a
cloned.
fast spin on it, right? Let's say 5 years. The next 5 years, every NFL player is a clone of some other professional NFL player, right?
Mhm.
Does that make the sport very boring?
I think it makes it better because then you just have like, but again, we're
I think it makes
okay.
it super
So
boring.
I sort of, this is like a time travel thing because there's like no rules. There's like a Hollywood considered like this is like you always get people's like that's not how time travel works, and it's like you don't fucking know how time travel works.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
first
can
of
only
all,
theorize how it works based
right? And
on
everyone has, and it's like you'll get Neil deGrasse Tyson back. Well, actually, this, and it's like fucker, you don't know.
yeah.
Okay, like you're super
I would
smart,
definitely
and
believe
you,
over him over somebody in
oh
a
for sure,
coffee shop. Yeah, yeah,
for sure. But it doesn't mean that he's right either.
yeah.
Okay, and so they're calling this cloning,
Hmm.
and it's not exactly cloning because it's not the same consciousness of the clone. Because to me, a clone is an exact replica
Yeah.
that
So
has the
it's
same
like,
consciousness and memories of the clone.
yeah,
That is what we know of cloning, or what
we know
like
the
we've been
movie picture esque
of what.
version of
Yes, right.
cloning. Yeah,
Like you take an X-Men, and they clone themselves, right?
yeah. The
It's
cloning
the
X
same.
Men. Who was that? I don't remember his name. Cloney McGee or something like that. Probably.
Cloney McGee does, he makes that little noise when he does that, right?
Yeah,
And
but
then
he
he
can
does that.
feel and be the same other
But see,
person,
okay, here's the
which
thing.
is a
So
perception
Morph,
that I can't
let's
even.
let's take Morph for example. Morph, his thing is he morphs into people.
Yeah.
Is he a clone? If he turns into Wolverine, is he Wolverine?
Um.
Is he a clone of Wolverine?
I don't know. I don't think
Because
we
he's
have.
still Morph. Because he's Morph. He's not Wolverine. He's not
Does he
Logan.
have Wolverine's powers and
He just
memories?
looks no. He just looks
If
like
he just
Wolverine.
looks like Wolverine, then it's like
He's not Rogue,
he's a cosplayer. Yeah.
but he actually turns into him though. Like
But
you
does he have his
can.
powers? Like, is he able to stab people with his like
It's like
Wolverine
Mystique.
claws?
Like Mystique.
Mystique actually has the powers, right? Or does she just look like she's a shapeshifter?
She's a shapeshifter.
Okay,
So is
yeah.
Morph.
Again, they're just like highly articulated cosplayers. Because
So
if
is
you
that
can't,
cloning?
no, because
No,
like
no.
you're
Okay,
no,
so now,
it's like
okay,
yeah,
Invincible had those two dudes, those two brothers,
mhm.
twins, but they were like clones of each other, right?
Yes. To the point where
Right,
they couldn't remember. They were clones, but they couldn't remember who was the original. I think if
right.
you reach the point where you can't tell who the original is, that's cloning. You did it. You cloned yourself, but you played yourself because,
But are you clones, or are you just like?
I don't have a definition for clone, so I would assume that
So, but
it has to
anyways,
be
so
clone.
all of that to say
Yeah.
is what they're calling cloning is they're just taking DNA,
They're creating a new baby, essentially, out of the DNA of
right?
a now dead person or also like living
Right.
person, I guess.
Because it's not, because to me, if you say we've successfully cloned dog A, then that means that dog B is dog A. It's the same exact fucking dog,
Yeah, they would
just a younger dog.
they would legitimately like move the same, they would look the same, they would eat the same, they would almost to a certain extent like exist in the same space to the point where like it would be you couldn't have them in the same area because they would just be bumping into each other.
Because to
they were
me,
trying
if you do not have
exist.
the same consciousness,
Yeah.
you are not a clone. You are a new species. And
Yeah.
that's just my thing.
But
I don't know.
That's the
I
thing
don't
about
know.
like cloning that we don't understand. Like, because I think the idea of like, hey, you want to put your brain in the cloud, like you would have to map your brain, all the pathways, everything onto like a clean slate to the point where it's like, but then say you do that. Do you exist? Like, how do you, that's the thing about perception of like being a clone. Like, I wouldn't be able to handle. Like, if I do have a clone, am I perceiving everything they're also seeing? Or is it like they just become a new person that just acts exactly like me and does the exact same thing that I would do?
Because
but
to
I
me,
cease
that's
to
a mimic,
exist,
right?
I guess. But that's like, because that's the thing I think about, like the AI voice. You know, people like that was a story like a little while ago that we didn't. I don't know if we ever talked about it, but like these companies were coming to dead old people and basically like recreating their voices and shit like that, and like taking everything that they've ever said in their lives and putting it into an AI chatbot, and then giving that to the families and being like, hey, here's your dead relative,
dude.
which is super fucked up in my opinion.
Which is a fucking Black Mirror episode, by the way.
Absolutely, and it's
And then they put it into a sex doll.
I low key, I understand that like though there are tragic events in which people would want to like have some sort of attachment to the dead relative or whatever, but like there's also like you got to just let things go sometimes, you know, like creating an AI chatbot that's not your dead relative.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
It's so weird that you brought that up because I was listening to a podcast that did this. The guy literally did that. He had like Lou Gehrig's and he knew he was dying, and so he spent like
That's like the premise of that one Transcendence movie by Johnny Depp.
$50,000-$60,000 and like recorded all these lines and shit, and then like put it into like this box, this AI box that like people could talk to. That's the future, bro. Like that is.
I don't like that, man. Just let me die, dude. Just let me die. I'm sorry.
I don't think Shelby's gonna do it. But like,
honestly,
so what happens if Shelby comes up to you and she's like, yeah, I want you to do this.
Sorry, babe. I'm gone. You know,
you're gonna do it.
I'm dead.
Because you can't tell your wife no.
And then she's like, babe, I want you to do this. And like, babe, I'm already dead. And I just fade into the black. And like, I was dead the whole time.
When was the last time you told your wife no?
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. Honestly, like low key, it might. I don't know if it's bad or not, but like, I don't know. I don't think it's
like it doesn't have to be anything big. Just like
as a joke,
hey,
probably. Like,
hey, can you grab this for me from the fridge? No.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that hundreds of times. Absolutely. Did I still grab it? Yes, I absolutely still grab
right.
It. So,
okay. When was the last time you told her no and stuck to your guns?
I don't think that's happened. I'm a very much so a yes man. I'm a people pleaser. Okay, I'll do whatever I can for
fucking
you.
beta cuck, dude.
Hey, call me what it is. Call me what I am, baby. I have it for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's very scary future, and I understand now why all those old men yell at the clouds and why they yell at people to get off their lawn, because honestly,
they didn't have anything.
Losing the lawn.
Yeah, but no. But they were yelling at the clouds and get off my lawn because they didn't like the color of people's skin. Okay. We're talking about things that are like morally and ethically questionable.
Yeah, it is a small difference, sure.
Yeah, just tiny.
I do. Okay, so I did see a YouTube short recently, like literally like before this episode, and it was like old people who just got an AI robot, and they basically are, it's just slavery. They're just treating it like slave. They even got a new name for them, dude. And it's like, I feel uncomfortable saying the name because it's like, why'd you go so close? Why do you have to put the ER on the end of anything? Like, why, if we could stop that, right? And it's like, I understand that they're robots and they're AI and they can't, but I feel like we gotta kind of tread lightly because we already did this once in history and it wasn't good. And we still haven't addressed it. We haven't addressed it the first time we did it, let alone like having AI bots now.
They tried to sweep it under the rug.
Still trying, honestly. They're still trying to do what they can to get rid of it. But hey, I just think that you're doomed to repeat it if you don't kind of acknowledge it. But hey,
not to get into the, we like to skirt real close to the line here when it comes to political things. But I brought up something to you earlier where it's like. I'm at a point now where it's like I hate when the terrible, awful people like have a good point, and then like you're stuck between it's like I don't want
to agree with a piece of shit. Yeah,
right. And so obviously, most people agree that the food standards in this country are suboptimal.
Yeah.
Right.
You definitely have complained about it a few times. Yes.
There's plastics in our food. Mm-hmm. Like the food is not even really food. Everything is highly processed. Mm-hmm. Like, there's cockroaches grounded up in your cheese dust and it's on your Cheetos. So you develop.
Hey, I'd say add it in though, because it's extra protein, but whatever.
Yeah. But like that, it allows you to build up a resistance to cockroaches because most people are allergic to cockroaches.
Not only like resistance to cockroaches, but resistant to antibiotics, because what are they doing? They're pumping the cows full of antibiotics, which then creates immune resistant or antibiotic resistant.
Yeah, you can keep going,
buddy. It's a slippery slope, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of these things, right? And, the one thing that has been really prevalent in my life and yours was, especially when Mountain Dew was a thing, it was like code, what was it?
Yellow 40.
yellow 40 and now
And
red
40, red 40 as
and
well. It might be
and
yellow for like red 40. It's the dyes.
it's one of
Dyes,
those.
yeah.
Right. So food dyes are a big thing. And I think if someone came up to you and was like, Jacob, the United States is going to remove all of the artificial coloring from food, you'd be like, okay, what's the catch?
Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, I'd be like, okay.
But I mean, but like objectively, that's a good idea. Okay, cool. Like we don't need it. Like you don't need your flaming hot Cheetos to be red.
I
You
think,
associate the color with fire. Okay, great.
yes.
But like it's unnecessary. It
I
does
do
not
think
add
it's going to
anything.
take some time for people's palates to adjust because people are very visual eaters. And if I do get my flaming hot Cheetos and they aren't red and I still eat them and they taste the same, I'm going to be a little bit freaked out. Like that's why
So
like Pepsi Clear, that's why they didn't take off, is because people were like, "Where the fuck's my Pepsi? Would you turn it into water? Like what are you, Jesus Christ or something? Turn it into wine or some
Jesus
shit?"
Christ, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, or turn my water to
There,
wine.
I saw a video again. You never know how true it is, but somebody had taken a Monster and poured it out into a clear cup, and there was
Not
little
real.
pieces of plastic
Not
floating
real.
around in it. Did you see it too?
No, but it's not real. Anytime you see anybody who's like, look at this,
Yeah, but
like, it's not real. It's
but
fucking stupid.
what are you more or less inclined to believe that there is plastic in energy drinks?
I'm more in, I'm more
Right?
inclined to just not drink energy drinks. But I mean, if you
But
had to ask me, like, if I would I be shocked if somebody poured one out and there
right,
was like a big chunk of plastic? No,
right, right. So
no.
so
But
all that to say is like I think Doritos and Cheetos and like a lot of Frito-Lay stuff is I believe at the beginning of the year there was like a certain point where everything that's manufactured after a certain date has to be dye free. And it's like, okay, cool.
yeah,
Again, you get rid of the dyes in your Mountain Dew and okay, cool. Like I don't drink soft drinks. I mean I do eat chips. Chips, I love chips. Chips are delicious. But here's the actual part. All of the stuff that's in there, the microplastics and all the shit that's bad for you,
yeah.
still in there.
That's
So again,
the
it's
thing.
just
It's
like,
like it's again. It's just so stupid.
mhm.
You know, because it's like, okay, because this is the same kind of shit that Michelle Obama got flambasted for whenever she made about making school kids' lunches healthier, and people like gave her a whole bunch of shit because like
I'm American. I can eat whatever the fuck I
because she
want.
tried to change the diet to make it more healthy and make it more like
Well, we know why people pushed back
yeah, but nonetheless, okay. Besides the racism and all that, like it was a good idea and whatever. But then like you
and the
got
misogyny.
yeah, that too. But it's like,
It's two things.
but again, then you get this like this piss poor like shooting a barrel with a fucking BB gun where it's like, we're gonna take the dyes out. Okay, cool, but like, what about like companies using plastics for everything, like the giant like pollution that all the pollution they're creating from like creating these microplastics all the time, and like I don't know all the preservatives that they're shoving full like, and it's like I don't even really give a shit about all that, but it's just like it feels kind of one of those things where okay, cool, you took the dyes out, so like what about the other bad stuff? You know, you're
And like all this is stemming from the fact that, Brainworm himself has been a big advocate of cleaning up our food and the FDA. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but like you suck as a human being. And like, I don't want to advocate and give you any credit because you're an awful human being.
And again, it's one of those
You know
things
what I mean?
where it's like it's so stupid because it's the same team, right? It's the same team who's like, vaccines are bad. They're not bad. They've been studied more than half the shit our government has ever done, right? And it's all so dumb, and it's just like I feel like even dyes, right? We already know, and you can go to places that don't have dye. They have dye-free foods, and like all the foods that we have now, currently, you could very seldom find ones that have the bad dyes in them anymore. So it's like him saying, "Oh, you can't use this dye anymore." It's like, well, companies were already fucking doing that in the first place. So it's literally just like you like waiting for somebody to cross the finish line and be like, "I think that guy's gonna win." You know, it's like what the fuck are you doing? Like
Good analogy. Look at you. I'm proud of you.
Stupid.
That's a good analogy.
I hate it all. I hate it all. You know, and I absolutely agree with you. I hate that the idea like because it's stupid people and smart people alike. I'd be like, fuck it, god damn, this piece of shit. It's good. But then again, that's the way I see it. It's like he's literally just trying to take credit for some shit that's already happened, and it's like, god damn it.
Yeah, and it's like it's also like creating a problem and then solving the problem and being like, "Look what I did," and it's like you were the fucking. It's like it's the Scooby Doo meme where they pull the mask off and it's like,
swear to God, dude, I might actually have an aneurysm if he was to come out tomorrow and be like, you know what? I've solved the immigrant crisis. No more immigrants. You know how we're going to do this? We're going to do this. Everybody's a citizen. And it's like, dude, you do that shit? First of all, do it. I dare you. Second of all, fuck you. You created this whole issue in the first place, right?
Hey,
Man.
no one is illegal on stolen land, bud.
That's it. Man. That would honestly be hilarious if he was like so gung ho to the idea of like getting rid of immigrants. It's like, all right, next step in our plan, our 20-start plan is that we're actually going to leave now because we are technically immigrants. I'm kicking everybody out. We're only going to leave the natives here, and they can live here forever if they want, rent free.
You brought up preservatives, and I've noticed I've been taking like a subconscious account of things that I've purchased throughout the years. Now, not to the extent of making a database, though I should have done that. That would have been great analysis to talk about. But I've noticed that, with all of these food products that we have in our house that we buy at the grocery store, like they're fucking pumped full of preservatives and shit. And it's like, okay, like I get the idea of them is to make them last longer. But like I'm finding more and more that all of my food seemingly goes bad quicker.
No.
Or at least it's like I'm trying to convince myself that things should last longer based on the amount of preservatives and chemicals that are in there,
Yes.
and they don't.
Now,
Like, dude, bread goes bad in a week.
my question to you is, first
Real
of all,
bread goes bad in like 3 days.
are you buying Lewis bread? Second question is, do you think
I buy half loaf from Food City.
need to buy Lewis bread, dude? Low key, go to UGO. The one time you ever step foot in a UGO, get you some Lewis bread.
What is a
because
fucking UGO?
United Grocery Outlet? It's like it's a poor people's shopping market. I'll say it. It's like the Ollie's of food.
Where the fuck is that at?
One by my house. Come on down here.
I'm not fucking driving 30 minutes to go get bread.
There's probably one closer to you. I just haven't looked it up, but they're everywhere.
You live in the poor part of town.
Anyways, Lewis bread's really good. My second question is, do you think it's one, preservatives aren't doing a good job, or two, the food that you're buying is actually a lot older than what they're saying it is on the shelf, right?
I think it's everything. We only buy a half loaf because we don't eat a ton of bread anyways, because the bread that we eat is not real bread. Like I said, real bread would go bad in like 3 days.
We low-key eat it out like a loaf or two a week. It's insane. We eat so much bread, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we have to buy bread every single week. It's insane.
We buy a half loaf every week because Zoe eats Nutella sandwiches.
I'm talking
but
we
like,
buy 3 to 4 loaves of bread every week.
I'm so shocked that you don't make your own fucking bread, dude.
Do you know how hard it would be to make 3 to 4 loaves of bread every single week? Not only that, but to keep it in hand, because when I make the bread, you know how long the bread that I make lasts? Half a day, not even a full day.
That's because your fat ass eats it.
Yeah, the whole family does, buddy. The whole family loves my bread. I make good bread.
I guess I take that back. I can't call you fat ass anymore.
You can, dude, because I like to eat like a fat ass. That's for sure. But I carve.
Dude,
I pull myself back a little bit.
It is like I see you now and you look normal.
Yeah.
But like I was looking back at like old videos.
You have old videos of me, dude. Like what
Like,
kind of POV are they? I don't even remember.
There's that one where you run up to your own doorbell and you're like going.
That is funny, yeah, dude.
But dude, you are a large person.
I was, man. I was a very large person.
But I guess I never noticed it.
I just fit my body too. I feel like I didn't look bad. I don't think. I mean, I guess I do. I do. Like
I will tell you this
now. I definitely
because it has been such a steady growth, degrowth. I don't know. I don't know how to. It's been a steady process that like sometimes you see people that lose like a lot of weight really fast and they look emaciated and they look sick.
Yeah.
You do not.
Thank you.
Like, because like there are times where it's like startling how fast people like someone, I've seen people.
I do think there was probably a time
60, 80 pounds in like a week and you're like,
yeah, I do think there was probably a time like after like half a year goes by or whatever, and like you see me the first time, like you probably think
but I
had
see you like
cancer or
every
something.
fucking day though.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing too. But I'm sure people thought I had cancer or something like that. And honestly, I would be shocked if they came back to me. Like, I don't know. I still have a fear that I'm like crawling with cancer. I just don't know about it. But whatever.
It's like your foot, dude.
Dude, yeah, I went to the doctor today to get my foot x-ray because I was like pretty sure that I was dying or something. I don't even know. But he saw my foot and he was like, this is the healthiest foot I've ever seen. So
He did not say that.
he said along the lines of like, dude, you got a healthy ass foot. So
I'm sure he said your foot's fine. And
he
you
did
took
actually
it
say that. Yeah, he said you look good. You had no inflammation. Bones look good. No fractures. I did have a bone spur, but it's like not bothering me at all.
Oh,
So,
Trump.
yeah, no, yeah, I could dodge a draft now. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm just convinced, man. I do think that everybody should be allowed to just get one CAT scan as like a year.
Why isn't that normal?
We
Because they
don't
can't make
have
money.
time to discuss the medical industry and the big medical, all right, and the industrial medical complex.
If I gave a shit enough, I would love to do a deep dive on, because I think that we've been fed a lie, surprise, that all the countries that have socialistic and free healthcare, well, you got to wait 6 months to go to the doctor. I find that to be bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that if you're in fucking Germany or Finland and you're like, I need to go to the doctor, that they're like, oh, you look like you're dying. Sorry, come back in 6 months. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's because you're right. They did lie to us.
In Canada, it's like, oh, well, you got to.
And
whatever,
it's like it's one of those things where if you were to trace back the lie, right? If you were to look at the lie and you were to trace it back to who's saying the lie, lo and behold, shocker, might just be the people who don't want change, right? It's almost like if you have a whole, industry built on lobbying to Congress.
I was having a discussion with somebody over the weekend, and it was a civil discussion. He was an older gentleman, and like there was no yelling. It was an actual like we have a differencing of opinion, and whatever. Because I was just like I think healthcare should be free, and he was just like, why blah blah. He's like, well, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like all the first world countries that have been able to make it work, and we're the one that hasn't. And he's like, what do you mean they made it work? And then he started that whole thing where it's like, oh, you got to go. And I'm like, have you ever been to the fucking doctor in Germany? Have you ever been to the fucking doctor in Spain? Unless you've done it personally, then I don't think you get to say that.
That is why we do need to start outreaching more to our foreign audience, right? Because I do think I would love to get Fred back on because I would love to just talk healthcare with him. Honestly, have a whole episode where we don't talk about art. We don't talk about anything we're working on. We just talk about healthcare. Right, get Jim back on. See how bad the NHS is over there, the National Health Association, whatever the fuck they call it. I don't even know what they call it.
Yeah.
We could Lori, have her back on. Right, have her back on. And say, hey, how is the healthcare in Canada? Because we've heard for decades now that it sucks ass. Right, just tell me how it is. Right, and start just reaching out to people who live in other countries and say, hey, fucking tell us, explain it to us. Like we're 5. Right, I think it would be a fun little series that we do. I had another thought and I lost it, but. Hey. Yeah, it was like the whole thing. It's like, okay, because me and my dad have yelled back and forth hundreds of times on this same topic of like healthcare being free and like, oh, well, if you look at Canada, you got to wait. I love my dad to death. Don't get me wrong. I love him. Shouts out to my dad. He did actually get his knee replaced recently. So like, yeah, awesome job, my guy.
How long do you have to wait for that?
That is the crux of my argument. It's like, because every time we talk about it, it's like, oh, you got such long wait times. You got to wait 6 months to get a routine physical or whatever. It's like this guy just waited 3+ years until his benefits took over, so he could get the knee replacement. His socialist benefits to take over, so he can get the knee replacement. And it's just like you're gonna sit here and you're gonna say, oh, long wait times. It's like, what was all that? What was all that you were just doing?
Well, that's because it benefits him.
God, it's just so. And I want to yell and say,
all about me, not thee.
But it's just
like it's all about thee, not we.
So, but then it's like we end up paying more for the same shit we would have to wait for. And it's, oh man, I was so angry.
I find it hard to believe there are not walk-in clinics around the fucking world.
We got to get our foreign guests.
First of all, and secondly, how often do you schedule your yearly physical? A year out.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I schedule it at the end of my yearly physical. Like, yeah. I just like.
And so you have to wait a year. You know why you have to wait a year, Jacob?
Like,
what's that sound? Well, it's because your insurance won't pay for it unless you go
Yeah.
back within a year. So it's not that you have to wait because theoretically you could go every fucking day if you wanted to.
Yeah, it would just be
You
very
just
expensive
you just be very
until
expensive.
I hit the deductible, and then it would just be $25 or something like that. And it's just like, but then you still have to pay your premiums, and it's like, hey, cool, I'm glad that I'm paying $12,000 a month so that
I
I can spend $50 every time I want to go to the doctor after I
did we
pay $10,000 in deductibles.
did we talk about it when we were playing Hunt, or did we talk about it on the podcast where I talked about like, all the scams and all the like bullshit things that has happened in this country and how like I understand how they've all happened.
I want to say that it all
Except
blends
for
together, and that was probably in a voice message and then carried over into Hunt, and then it's probably been mentioned on the pod several times. But
like of all of the scams that have been created,
yeah,
I don't know how insurance made it as far as it did.
because people make a lot of money on insurance, and people make a
No, no,
lot of
no,
money.
no. The I'm talking about originally 300 years ago when some fucking snake oil guy was like, "You give me $50 a month, $25 a month, and that way, in case you get sick in a couple years, you'll only have to pay $10 for your visit instead of 20." Like, how did that original thing go? Because insurance is again should not be for profit, but it has become such a gigantic fucking
Mm.
money making machine in this country, which is why we'll never have what we have. But like, I want to know how that scam started.
I want to argue that it was in fact a scam when it first started, and that it was like mafia or mob style
No, it was
gangs.
before. It was before then, dude. I mean,
What was the earliest like recording? Like what is like not mafia, not mobs, not gangs. What is the first batch of bad guys called? What are they? Hoodlums? I don't know. Gangsters. What are they? Outlaws. Outlaws probably be like close to.
the oldest form of insurance is marine insurance, originating from the ancient contracts that were loans for sea shipments in case they were lost on a voyage.
Yeah.
While these contracts
Okay, so
were
like the East India
considered,
Trading Company and shit like that. Like, okay.
hmm
Damn, dude, that's a
uh,
whole other bag of worms, man.
the first known insurance contract in the modern world dated back to 1347.
Damn.
Um, institutions like Lloyd's of London,
Yeah,
they're
Lloyd's,
still, dude, they're still around. I deal
dude,
with them every day.
Lloyd does sound like the kind of guy to come up with insurance, honestly. He's a fucking really bad
Apparently, they
dude.
had fucking merchants back in the fucking Babylonian times.
I mean, yeah, I feel like they did exist throughout history.
1762, Equitable Life Insurance is the world's oldest mutual life insurer, which is formed in England. Thanks a lot, Jim.
God damn it. But yeah, so I do think that like call to arms for our foreign audience. Come to the podcast. Tell us about your healthcare. I want to know. I want to know if it's as bad as they say. We live in
Jesus.
America where they've done nothing but shit talk your entire healthcare systems for too long. And I say, let's put them
Mhm.
straight. Let's put them honest.
The earliest recorded form of insurance can be traced back to around 1750 BC in ancient Babylonian
I
times.
There is one thing that I do find hilarious, and that's how like the US in particular tries to spin it as if like basic human needs aren't like rights for humans, right? And it's like they do such a great job on it, honestly. Like they're so good at like just saying, "Hey, we know that like people need medical stuff to stay alive, but like they don't
So,
need it."
the oldest known insurance contract can be found in the Code of Hammurabi.
Hell yeah, dude. Shouts out to the Code of Hammurabi, honestly. What is the
It's
Code of Hammurabi?
it's the oldest and most complete written legal code dating back to ancient Babylon around 1755 BC. It contains 282 laws inscribed on large basalt stele,
Oh,
which
dude,
was
that's like I've
discovered
seen this
in
picture before.
1901 and is now housed in the Louvre.
Dude, imagine 300 laws you had to follow.
Created
Fuck,
by King
dude.
Hammurabi of Babylon to unify the city states he conquered, the code was intended to establish standards for justice and bring order to his empire.
I'm just glad we got AI to sum this up for me because I did not feel like reading a bunch of
I'm
articles.
I'm reading it on
I'm reading
Wikipedia.
AI overview,
I'm
man.
reading it on Wikipedia. So which is more accurate, Wikipedia or AI?
Honestly, which is more
Well,
accurate? It's only
I'm
a matter
gonna
of time
say
before Wikipedia turns into just AI. That's like filling
AI
out.
is just pulling from Wikipedia.
So then it's like a chicken and the egg situation where it's like, but then
Well,
what happens when?
human beings put it in
But
Wikipedia.
what happens when Wikipedia can't fund them anymore and they have to turn to AI to write all
I
the
don't
shit for them?
I don't believe that. Every time you go to Wikipedia and it's just like we need funding. I don't believe that.
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, eventually they will inevitably turn to AI to say, "Hey, start writing articles for us, buddy. There's too much internet to cover." So,
I was trying to look up some of some of the
principles of
actual principles.
retribution. This code famously associated with the principle of lex talionis, talionis, an eye for an eye, where punishments are retaliatory. Retaliatory, sorry. However, penalties were not applied equally as they often depended on the social status of the offender and the victim. Shocker, classism existed millennia ago.
It's always existed.
It's kind of weird how it's like one thing where like some people think they're better than others. It's not cool, guys.
Bro, you put two human beings in a room with no if you put two strangers in a room and they have to talk to each other, they're automatic. Like that's ego.
You had to form social structures, yeah. You had to form and you remember that whole study that like Princeton ran? Was it Princeton? I don't remember, but they put like a bunch of college kids in a prison, and they gave one half of them, they gave them jobs as security guards, and they gave the other half of them jobs as inmates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened? They had to stop it after like a week or two because the cops were not nice. Shocker. I don't think it's really much of a tell as the cops, because cops are going to be, ACAB or whatever. But just like funny how there was no structure going in because they were just college students. But then as soon as they got in there, they said that like the inmates started thinking they like actually committed crimes and shit like that. And then the cops were like just hungry with power, and then they started making them do like super demeaning shit, like really bad shit, to the point they had to shut it down. So kind of crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Super Larry Bird.